Alright guys, what is going on? Back again for replay review number 2. This time sent to me by my good buddy Bryce Barrus. And he sent me both here. He sent me the heat race and then he sent me the feature. I just now started watching the heat race and something came up right away that I wanted to start recording so I wouldn't forget. Haven't even looked at the feature yet. We'll get to that in a second. But I want to run through a couple laps here and just have everybody kind of watch this here and let it play out, and then I'll talk about the things that I dislike. Okay, a couple things there on those 2 laps. Was it this one also? Okay, yeah, this one obviously just washed up too high, above the banking, above the marbles. And then, does it start here? Yeah, it starts here. Okay, so coming out of each corner, the thing I noticed right away is that we're not using the whole track. Think of like road racing, where you're trying to carry as much speed through the corner as possible, get on the gas at the apex, and then you're using all of the curb on the outside of the track, right? The concept still applies here for dirt. So when we're coming out of turns, about here, the car is still pitched too far left. You can use the whole straightaway up here. You're still pitching left here, even at the flag stand. You've got a whole lane up here you can use. When you keep the car turning and you don't let it kind of drift, right? The thing that happens is you scrub speed every time you come out of a corner. So now you're straight. Now you see the car shake here, right there. It shakes straight. That's where you want to be on the exit of the corner. And then again, getting into the corner here, we're just not wide enough to, open up the entry and carry as much speed through the corner. This is the best line you ran. But again, right about here, we're still going this way. We're still pointed all the way down here. Whereas you can see the guy in front of you, he's using all the track he's got to keep the car as straight as possible all the way around. The goal is always keep the car as straight as you can. And look where we're at on the track here. Now we're looking at 3 and 4. We're like, oh, crap, what line are we going to run here? This is a good line to run when it's dead slick and you're trying to like hook into the bottom. But right here, we're kind of just in no man's land. We're not high enough to get a good run, arc into 3. So then we have to do this. We drive straight to this point and then we hook the car left. So we're kind of driving in straight. I mean, you turn a little bit here, but the car's still kind of going straight, if you know what I mean, right? And then sharp left. The car has to set more unnaturally rather than running maybe a little bit higher and just kind of swooping into the corner. It's like what I talked about. When was that? Yesterday's video, where Scott was kind of driving everything at like a right angle. If the track is here, right, which is kind of weird, and let's say, let me draw like a actual track. So if you're coming into the corner, arcing each corner is going to always be the fastest. But when you enter down here and then have to turn the car right here, this sharp point, you scrub so much speed in that move. So you've got to get as much track as you can. Again, here out of 4, we just keep turning the car. We've got to let the car drift out and use all this. We get nice and high back up into turn 1. Great run through the corner, and we use the track. And I guarantee this is probably we didn't have a great entry into 3, so we kind of drove straight again and then turned sharp. But this lap might be faster than the previous one. Just a little bit. Just not a great 3, and you see how much speed you scrub because of it. Not terrible again through 1. Nice out of 2. We let the car drift straight. Much better 3 and 4 right there. Much better 3. A little bit low on the exit of 4. Nothing terrible, though. Great 1 and 2 right there. Look how much of a gap you closed on him. 3 perfect. 4. We'd like to drift out a little bit again. And then we kind of run. We kind of go into the corner. If I can erase here. We kind of go into the corner at a weird angle because of that. So now we'll make pretend this is 1 and 2 over here. We kind of get stuck over here. So then we like whip it into the corner almost, right? We like swerve it into the corner. And that loses speed, that loses time for you. You drive it back out. You're down here and then you drive it out to the lane when really you should be out there already all the way back here and then ready to just swoop into the corner. But when you're here and then you turn right and then back left to get into the corner, speed scrubbed automatically every time. Doing a good job using the track there. Just a little bit in the slick there out of 4 on that one, but nothing crazy. That's the biggest thing right there from the heat race. And then really the only reason you lost the heat race because you held up with them pretty good. You just went a little late and you gave them a chance to stick with you on the start. You could have gone pretty much anywhere from here to here. It looks like you might have waited for the green. Let me check. Can't even see him. Did the green come out? Yeah, the green came out. So he saw the green and immediately he's taken off. And you know, that always gives the guy on your outside a huge advantage when you wait for the green. You got the pole in the heat race. You set when ready, you know? I mean, you go when ready. And that's the two major things there. That's why that heat race went the way it did for you. Cuz you had a couple really good laps there at the end, like what was it, 6 and 7, and you closed the gap a lot. And then from there you shut the car a little bit too hard going into one time that swerve out and then back in, and then just ran out of laps to run them down from there. Haven't seen this at all. Haven't seen the feature yet, but I can assume it's probably it probably didn't start out too slick. It didn't seem like there's, how many cars were there? Only 15, so yeah, it probably wasn't too bad.
No more.
So let's get the cameras all good to go here. Okay. So I'm kind of just going here with you. Nice voice crack there. Not a bad start. A little bit high. See, this is what I talked about. Bryce, I think you're an insider, right? When you miss this banking and this guy behind you hits it, look how much faster they can go. You're out here on the flat part of the track and he's on the banking, just using all the momentum, digging with that right rear. Boom, that guy's by you. That was a big key thing that I taught. There you go. Now you hit it, but you didn't use the track again. You might have saw this guy and he might have worried you a little bit if he was coming down on you. I understand that. No big deal. It's only lap 2. Don't get yourself, your right front taken off by somebody's left rear. But the other thing that's important here too, when the line is this, and it's around the marbles, it's okay to lift. It's okay to lift back here and, let this guy get in front of you safe and sound. And then if you lift here to 95% throttle, I mean, you're behind him. You could have pulled up this way, but just lifting a little bit would get you clear in behind him and you could pull back up and fall into line here. But you kind of hurt yourself when you play too cautious almost, and then you get stuck in the slow line, basically. Again here, just a little too high. Another car gets by you. Almost. You got a little loose in the slick there. Scares you up the track with the right rear there. Just a little too high again. And I think that's probably gonna be the theme, right? There's a lot of grip still left on that banking. Not bad there, just maybe half a car width too high. Same thing on this end. The line right now, by the way, this is pretty wide. So the line is probably get to this point and then start just slowly creeping down underneath this slick and getting to where this car's at right here. I think that might be the leader. Let's go see if he's doing that. No, this is second place. So he's out here. Oh, wait, he just passed for the lead, didn't he? Yeah. And then he slides right through there. I think that's the line right now. Yeah, he got a great run out of there. So when the track looks like that, guys, take note. When there's a big gap, there's big, decent car width and a half of slick, and then a gap right here of pretty meaty looking moisture. Slide right through there and get to this point. Caution somewhere. We'll go green again. Little high again. You can see how close that car closed up on you. He got in the slick there. Otherwise, he probably would have passed you if he would have stayed around here. Or he would have forced you up the track again. Really, really high again. There's so much moisture here. So much moisture. Again, that line is still there. That moisture line is still there. Car in your way, obviously, but just to point it out. Again, we swung. We're here in the middle of the track. So we've got really one option. We didn't set ourselves up great on the exit. Kind of ran like a cut down line there. And you didn't have the run to get on the inside of this guy. So just turn right and pull up behind him. Turn right, pull up behind him. And don't turn right all the way up here. Turn right way back here when you realize you're, okay, I'm out of the slick. Let me get back up here. Instead of having to turn up here and then snap the car into the corner. We're just not using all the track. We're not using all the moisture. There's so much moisture everywhere right now. And you're cutting a lot of your speed off cutting down like that. Cut down again. I don't think the cut down is there. This line of moisture right here is too good. When this gap is here, the cut down's not there on the other end. When the slider line in 3 is there, usually the cut down's not there in 4 because it looks like this. There's a pretty decent amount of slick right through there. You can see it shakes your car just a little bit. Again, we're driving in a straight line into turn 1. I think my point I'm trying to make is you don't have a plan going into each corner. You don't have a plan going in. Mostly it looks like into 1. It looks like you're just like, okay, where's the moisture? Gonna hit that spot. I talked about in Scott's video last night, when the right rear is in moisture, hey, make pretend that's a 0% track, right? Because you can put the left front, the left rear in the slick, but that right rear if that right rear's right here, dude, you're digging. You're not losing speed for having, your left side tires in the slick up here. If your right rear can be up here in this line right here, you're golden. We slide pretty hard into 1 and 2. Maybe sort of a little cut down. They're battling hard in front of you, so I can understand. That was your best front stretch right there. Because this guy forced you to be up here. This guy forces you to stay up here, and this was your best. I bet you were nervous as hell right here. You're like, oh my God, I'm so close to the wall. But you are, but you're not, right? You've got all your grip here still. The only thing to do here is you turn a little late. You're still pretty straight right here. And then you get to this point and it's a little too late. You want to be kind of on the angle that that green car is, where he gets nice and turned in and he stays on the banking there. He's trying to maybe slide up in front of that guy, but he had a great run. He made up a whole 2 car lengths and passed that guy. And then he just kind of enters too high. He needed to be through here and he would have made that pass easily. But he does it anyway because that other guy washed up too high. And what happened here? Try to cut down on this line, get inside this guy, avoid him. It's not ideal, right? I mean, that guy's not high enough, so that means you've got to avoid him. And then that makes your entry into one, not ideal. But it's not bad. You're still alongside of him. To me, you've got to run here. I mean, he's probably going a little bit faster. Yeah, he's going 123. Now this is don't do as I say, or don't do as I do. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But here's where, if I got stuck in this situation and I know this guy's here, these guys are far enough ahead up to me, in my mind, that I'm going right here. Right here and sliding as straight as I can. So I'm getting low. I mean, I'm low. I'd be down here and sliding, getting the car turned and sliding through the corner here. And getting in front of this guy. If you're down here, if you're way down here driving straight, and then turning the car just ever so slightly, and then once you hit the slick, it'll turn a little bit more for you. And getting up in front of this guy, you force him to make a move now. He's got to cut under you or back out of it and slow down. I mean, you would have cleared him easily. And then you just get stuck all four tires in the slick, and this guy gets by. Again here, we slide really hard into the slick on the corner entry. Right rear on the slick on the exit. Now we don't really have room to run that slider. Oh, big wreck. I thought that was for the lead there for a second. These guys just kind of hooked each other, met in the middle there. Oh, I don't think they actually got any bad damage. Oh, just a Humpty Dumpty tip over. Go back green. Let's check the restarts. We want to make sure we're looking at everything here. I don't know what your wing's on here. I hope it's on 24. With only 15 cars, I hope your wing was on 24. Seems like we're losing a little bit on the starts, so your wing might be a little bit higher than that, I'm guessing. And bottom's not there yet. When the slick is only a car width wide, rule number 1, don't drive right through it. But rule number 2 is that means the top, or at Volusia, the banking is still going to be faster. The bottom's not there. The slick line is definitely not there. And yeah, I can poke you a little bit more because you're my good buddy. So I'm gonna give you some harsher criticism. So yeah, again, we're running the bottom. You're not running the bottom terrible. You're just missing the line just a little bit tight there on the middle of the corner. Let me see what happened. You had the car turning a little bit good. Maybe just a little tap of the brake, drag it a little bit, and it would have kept you down there. And you would have drove out under here. That would have been good. Trying this cut down line again. That's not there either. I mean, it's not there, I guess. It doesn't look like you're losing time to this guy. There we go. Ran the slider line that time. Let's look at lap times. Oh, that lap didn't count. Maybe not. Oh, no, there's a caution on this lap. Alright, so let's check out the end run here real quick. There's a lot of 15, 14 9s and then like some good 14 6s and a 5 here at the end. So let's see what changed for you. All four tires in the slick, not good for starters. Okay, stuck a little bit in that lane with the guy on your outside. I can understand that. Let's see where your entry could have been here. So the other thing here is when the bottom's not there and this guy's running high, you can lift a lot through here and let him pretty much go, you know, and then slide up right behind him. You don't have to pass him in that corner per se, but you at least get yourself on a much better line to be in. Again, why aren't we up here? You know, why? How come we're in the slick here, turning the car so sharp? It's okay to drive through this line just a little bit lower and get to where this car's at. There's grip right there where the 4's at. But you're turning the car a little too sharp on the entry and then just, you know, letting it drift on the exit. Well, just too long in the slick there as well. There's so much grip on this track and you're not using it. Again, we're still pitched all the way down here. We're below half midway of the you know, straightaway here. When there's that much grip around the whole track, give yourself as much track to use as you can. A lot of people think that the shorter they make the track on the straightaways or whatever it might be, that the faster it is, and it's not. You know, that's not the case. Keeping the car the straightest as you can. Let that thing go. Let this thing turn. It wants to go right, and you keep pulling it back left. Right somewhere around there, it wanted to go back right. You're in the slick, so it's probably wobbling all over, but right here, it's like it was going to go right, and you had the wheel turned right, but then you turned it back left for some reason. I think a lot of the things I said to Scott in yesterday's video can apply here. If you guys just get more comfortable driving right by the wall, and you realize, you know, just how close you can actually get. I actually don't hate that line right there. That's a pretty decent Volusia line right here. After you come off the top of the corner here and stay below the slick, getting into 1, keep the car nice and straight, and then get to the marbles. That's not a bad line at Volusia at all. That comes in a lot in 1 and 2. Actually, this is probably why these lap times are so good. Yeah. These lap times are so good because we're finally running the slider line in 3 and 4. It's pretty decent in 1 and 2 as well. Shook the car a little hard there in that one, but that's the line I would have ran right there. When I was talking about passing that guy earlier, you get down near this inside wall and you clear all the way out here, that guy would have been 6 car lengths behind you and you would have been perfectly clear. I know the race is over here, but I know also if the race wasn't over, this is the exit you would have taken anyway. You would have taken this trajectory anyway, when you should be staying out here. I know the race is over, so you're probably just like, okay, don't hit the wall, don't get a 2x, blah, blah, blah. But I know for a fact, and if you're being honest with yourself too, if you're coming out of this corner on lap 24, running this line that you just ran around the top or slider line here, you would have turned the car left down here into the middle of the track here instead of riding up here in this grip by the wall. Don't do that. That's the biggest tip I have for this whole race. Turning into the corners too sharp, kind of like the other video from Scott for Williams Grove. You're doing that here also, and then you're not letting the car hold its speed coming out of the corner. Those are the two main things. There's 0% track up here. Go use it. Don't bring the car down into the slick when you don't need to. Yeah, those last few laps though on those slider lines were great. I really like both of those. So, maybe 10 laps. If this race had more cars, maybe like 10 more laps. This would have been a good track to go back down to the bottom, because you see, I mean, it's not very slick here. You get the car slowed down enough, like you did on one of those laps, and then drive out underneath the slick. That would have came back in here once this gets, you know, way out here. But it just never slicked off, unfortunately. So, info, yeah, not a super hot track or anything. Not very much wind, it looked like. So, yeah, just kind of a ho-hum race. It probably felt like for you too. Like, nope, you didn't move up, you didn't fall back or anything. You started 4th, finished 4th. So, but I'll reiterate here before signing off. let the car, you know, straighten out of the corners, and let it, let it roll right, basically, right? We have two phases during the winged car turn. We have the winged left portion, and then we have the roll right phase. Let that car roll right and let it keep rolling right. You get to the corner exit, and it's almost like the car's winging left again. Um, Let that thing roll right and let it get up by the wall. Put those right side tires on that grip. I want to go see if I can find the winner real quick, just to see a couple laps of what this guy was able to do. These look like pretty fast laps here, so let's go look. Not a bad line. Like I said, you can drive this line, but like he is right here, he's got the car turned into the corner ready for this portion. And it's not slick enough to snap you loose. That's probably not the fastest line right there, but it works. And see how he exits the corner here? You pretty much ran a similar line to this a couple times at the end. But look how just straight he lets the car stay. He doesn't keep pulling it left to keep it away from the wall. The biggest thing that's going to help you guys skill level increase is to stop being afraid of the wall. Don't pretend it's not there, obviously, but like I told Scott in the other video, you've got to wreck thousands of times before you know the limit of these cars and where you can put them on the track. There's so much grip on this track. Don't be afraid to go use it. This guy ran a really good exit of 4 on all these laps. I don't dislike any of these lines he's running here. He's staying all the way above the slick on the exit and just letting the car just to drift out of the corner nicely. Whereas you right here, you're pulling this way. You're like, oh no, the wall's coming up. Let me get away from that. Don't get away from it. Drive right next to it. All right. Apparently these have turned into half-hour. What do you call it? Half-hour like cable shows. Apologies for that. I talk a lot. You guys know that if you watch any of my other videos. So, yeah, take those 2 tips and go do them. I got faith in you. If you guys want to practice with me or whatever, my schedule sucks, but just leave me messages. Be like, hey, I'm going to throw a server up. Sometimes I might be home. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to jump in there with you. I like to practice. I don't race that much anymore. I just like driving on practice tracks. I like wrecking, really. I mean, I like going out and seeing how much I can get out of the car and how on edge I can drive it. If you don't feel like every lap, when it's not, it's not very slick here, but when you're railing the cushion on a 100% Charlotte track at the end of a 30 lap league race, if you don't feel like you didn't just have a little workout or you were on edge ready to crash into the wall every lap, you missed the line. Basically, if it doesn't feel like one little slip up and you're in the wall, or oh my god through the whole corner, then you're not hitting the right line. And that's the biggest takeaway from this. Get up here and use this moisture. Let this car keep the speed going here. Other than that, that's it for me, man. I'm gonna sign off and get this uploaded for you, and hope everybody has a good week 10. 410s come to Volusia, unfortunately. God, I hate this combination. 410s at Volusia this week, and then wing 360s at USA. One of my more favorite combinations, actually. So you might see me in some of those lobbies. But everybody, take care. I'm signing out. I'll have the setups for the Discord posted here. Hopefully tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Today, which is Sunday. So if I don't, you can punch me in my virtual face. But good night, everybody. See you out there.